Fantasy 11, and then I think on Facebook like a few days ago.
Bring that table closer. You put it on there or something. Or I guess just
a few days ago, I had logged in just to. I forgot why. It was to show someone a picture of my mustache, and he had posted a picture on my wall of him playing Final Fantasy 11. And I was like, damn, he's still playing.
Yeah. I'm having a great time.
That's a brave man. Oh my god. I'm just so sick. I'm not really sick, it's just sinuses.
Yeah. That's bother. It bothers.
It really bothers me. Yeah.
It bothers your dick. It just clogs up, it's all backed up.
Just gotta release.
You're gonna have to take care of you.
Miss our plums all swollen.
Your plums.
That show is fucking awesome.
I know, I love that show.
It was awesome because we had seen that video before we saw the episode.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I guess it led up to it perfectly. Just because you can look at his face and you can tell like he's flinching, like when he's telling him that crazy ass story. It's just like, and I humped my wife last night.
So much was changed in the dialogue.
The boy watch.
It was perfect in like the outtake, but they changed. I guess they changed it.
Well, of course they kept what they wanted, but they still kept like a few of those like, you know, gold nuggets where it's just like you could see his face and he's about to break that like frown of his. He's just, you know.
So that whole fucking thing was improvised or something.
Yeah. I got sad that they took out because he was like, it was a very hot day. The heat turned up to about 92. And this is a little detail that I really love. I heard a rap at the door. With my young son Gabriel.
Let the boy watch. That shit's fucking crazy. My
boy.
wife, Donna.
No, leave him.
I know, leave him.
Is that how you come along with your whatever? With the UDK, are you been working on it?
I'm at 50% at the book. I'm learning about pawns now, which is interesting. That's pretty much how you make a character, I suppose, because the way the book really teaches you in the beginning is like how to make classes that you make subclasses out of. So what you do is you make a template, and then you derive it into subclasses, and your subclasses will just be what you want it to be, but it will have like these properties instead. So, for instance, one of the examples that they did was like, they made an enemy class, and then you make a subclass, which is the actual enemy.
Yeah.
But before you make the actual enemy, you test out, the main class by making it a block, and you can mess with it in game and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Destroy it. Yeah. And after that, that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Cool. Yeah, obviously.
Is it also for like making NPCs?
Yes.
Yeah, you set them for NPCs, and then you name it like Town Goon 1.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be always enemies. It could just be whatever. Pawns are pretty much like...
the actors. So,
yeah,
right?
Well, they have a different definition for actors.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
because the actor itself is a class that you extend whatever... for instance, like you need certain properties from game info. And game info tends to get derived into actor, and game info will have like game score, like mechanics and stuff like that, and you can put that instead into your actor, because your actor will get like not only those rules but extra rules along the way that you can just play with and be able to like make a nice class that you can make a pawn, which would be your main character, whoever you want, etc., etc.
That's cool shit.
So, but I guess what I was gonna say is that also used to make like a.
Maybe we're gonna ask.
You know how NPCs move in a particular like way?
No.
Yeah, they go, they pick up a block, they come back, they talk to some guy.
I've never played that game.
They go to town, and they're just stuck in a system.
I've never, no.
Stuck in a system.
They do it in Monster.
Are they in Tron?
They do it in Monster.
Yeah? You were gonna say something after that?
Yeah, I was gonna say if that's used to like
yeah,
to like record that into them to know
Yeah,
what he's gonna do, or this guy's gonna go here, pretend to talk to this guy, go back and just repeat.
yeah, like
the whole
Goon
thing
1
over.
always goes here and then
Yeah, you can set that up within the code, but there's also a more like fundamentally better way of doing it, which is the Kismet. and I don't know how to work with that just yet. I did it for the level stream, but that was like very basic.
It's funny in the last story they have these NPCs like when they're rebuilding the castle towards the end. They have these guys where it's two guys and they're holding like this big kind of crate, and you just see them kind of going by. And if you just walk by, you don't really notice what they're doing. But I just stayed there for a little bit, and you just see them. They're carrying it, and they're like, they just keep carrying it in a fucking circle. They keep carrying the shit in a circle. Yeah, it's stupid as fuck.
That's the way to do it.
When you think they're gonna go somewhere, gonna help something out, but no, they're just eating shit.
They're there to waste your
Fucking
tax
around.
dollars.
I like how you can take someone with you. You can just keep pushing them and shoving them and pushing them.
Pick 'em.
Oh, I've never. Oh, where'd you learn your manners? Hey, watch where you're going.
I like the best in that. What's that stupid game? Radiant.
Oh yeah, Radiatosaurus.
Radiatosaurus.
That game was a fucking best.
That's a system I want to reintroduce.
Wait.
Right? We should make a game with that, man.
Just like you can kick NPCs.
Any fucking NPC.
You just fight old men.
Yeah.
They kick the shit out of you.
Some of those guys were hard as fuck.
Hell yeah, they fucking beat the fuck out of
You know
me,
what was
man.
awesome? I think when you go to the dwarf cave, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I kicked the dwarf king. And I would keep kicking and kicking and kicking. He's like, "All right, fine, you're gonna go in a fight." And he was tough. If he hit you twice, you were dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. So what I did is I came up with a system because he was kind of slow though, because he had like a huge like mallet or something. I would get really close. He would swing, hit. It would get stuck on the ground. I go 1, 2, 3, and again I keep going in a circle. And I just kept doing that over and over and over. I couldn't tell like how much. I'm not sure if in that game there was a life bar for the back here.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
It's been a
either.
long fucking
But I
time.
was just there for like forever until I killed him. And
I just love the fucking different outfits that you can get. You know, like it changes your look.
Yeah.
Like the suit or that super crazy armor.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing. Even in Mass Effect, I like just changing the fucking look of the guy.
Since I played Mass Effect 3 before I played Dead Space 2, you get the N7 armor for one of Isaac's,
That's cool, man.
and it was like that's the best thing like aesthetically. Like I would just wear that all the time because it's like, yeah, like the Dead Space armor is cool, but damn, like it's the Dead Space armor with the N7 like look on it. It's awesome. I was just like, damn.
What sucks in part 2, I think it was part 2, was
Wait, the Dead Space 3. I'm sorry.
oh, okay. Well, in part 2, one of the things that sucks is that I think the first real upgrade to the second like suit that you can buy is like the old school one that looks like shit.
Yeah, the one with the CRT monitor.
Yeah, but it's better. You know, for some reason.
It's,
But
got, it's you know it's
not digital.
it's solid.
yeah. Solid G Barbarian.
I always thought that like the tubing was like it's all like pipe tubing.
Yeah. It's harder for them to eat. Yeah.
How was
I know
part
what
three?
you're talking about. Like you get the retro suit and it's like an upgrade, but at least like the last suit you get is like very high tech, very sci-fi.
How was part 3? I never.
I loved it,
saw
man.
anything.
I
haven't played it yet.
I haven't had a problem with it. I guess a lot of people have issues with EA and their ability to fund people to make games and stuff like that, but I like Dead Space 3. There were moments that were scary. It wasn't as scary as part 1, but I don't think part 2 was as scary as part 1 either. I
Right.
thought part 2 was like a very action game. Part 3 was a very action game, but they had their scary moments.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I think about it, it's hard to remake a scary game, especially after you made the first one as scary as it can be. You pulled out all the stops to scare the fuck out of the player, and I freaking tell you, when I first played Dead Space in his house, and like I turned
Yeah.
around and that guy fucking just freaked the fuck out of me. But Dead Space 1 was legitimately just a scary game from top to bottom. Part 2 and 3 were not, but I can't blame them because
It's
how do
tough
you
to-
Yeah, the novelty of like those enemies, it's kind of gone already, you know?
Yeah, and how is it that you top that? Like, how
Yeah.
can you top like reaching the max level of like fright? Like, it's just a repeat of part 1, and then you as a player feel like you're getting gypped. You
Has
may
there-
as well give a fresh experience.
Has there ever been a game that you play that's scary throughout, like maybe like Silent Hill?
Dead Space 1, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill. Well, at the time, I don't know if I could replay it now and be scared of it.
Or like that its sequels were just as equally as scary? Or?
Oh, I don't know. 'Cause-
Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2 and 3 were not scary, but they had their moments. Like I remember the scariest moment for me in Dead Space 3 was this one room where there are 2 pistons going off, and you have to slow them down and move in between the room, and then slow the other piston down so you can get out of the room. But when you get into the middle of the room, you start being bombarded with like all these crazy fucking aliens that you don't know when they're going to stop, and it felt like forever. And I was just to the lowest point of my HP, and to me that makes me frantic, and I'm just stop me, shooty. I ran out of ammo because I'm playing on the hardest setting, so I'm just like swinging my fucking arm and running away and swinging my arm, running away.
That's like the end of part 2, man. You remember where it's just
they sent
constant
an
hard
like,
motherfuckers.
I remember that.
And then you get a needle in your eye. The game's over. Hey man, I remember like even those, even towards the end, you know, when they're like fucking with your head and things like that. I think the final boss, I think whatever the fuck it ends up doing, I can't remember what it does, but it's something to do with in your fucking head.
Yeah. You go into your own psyche and you have to kill your dead wife.
Yeah, it was something like that, but I fucked it up once, or I lost that fight, and then he's just like and shoots himself in the fucking head with like that spike thing.
Yeah, he does. Like
it's insane.
It shows like it seems like you don't lose the fight, like you like come out of it, right? And you see Isaac and he looks around and he just takes his spike and he just shoots himself right in the.
And they show it real fucking brutal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember you guys talking about the eye thing.
Yeah.
Dude,
I never fucked it up, but like I seen the video of people fucking it up.
But can you imagine like being in that position? I don't know. Like I
don't want to, man. Like why do you have to inject someone in the eye?
He has to inject his eye to remember a certain indoctrination that he received from I forgot what the creatures were called. Or what that, like,
I can't remember.
Those things were.
The necromorphs?
The necromorphs, yeah. Because,
the fuck name is it?
What was that triangle called? The marker? There you go. The marker, like, indoctrinates a signal in your head, and it makes certain people, like, build more markers.
Oh, okay.
And...
Were these things the statues that they keep them at bay, or, like, were they safe markers, or what were the markers used for?
The markers would basically turn, like, would... pretty much like put this signal in people's head that would make them go crazy and start killing each other.
Shit.
And eventually they would die from like either pain or like psychosis or something like that. And one of them will turn into a necromorph that can make more necromorphs, usually. And that's pretty much how it works. But some few just get the signal in their head and they end up just building more markers instead. And that happened to Isaac and another guy that you end up like playing the game with in part 2.
Did he build a shitload of markers?
He built the one in that space station that you're at. Him and the other guy, Strauss, I think his name was.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Is that what happens in part 3?
No, that's in part 2. Strauss.
Oh, I guess I don't remember.
In part 3, it was pretty much. It's almost like one of those things where they don't tell you too much of what happened in like the end of part 2, or like. They just basically tell you like, the army found like the main base where like the necromorphs are like originated from or something like that, and you gotta go to that planet. Yeah. And it's a fun ride from Earth to that planet.
Johan told me that he's that he's been scared before, like in a Dead Space game, especially in part 1, that he got scared a lot. Mm-hmm. But that he related that fear to one that he had when he was playing the beginning of Condemned 2, with a bear breaking into the house.
So much fun, though.
Yeah, but the first one is way scarier, man.
Yeah, the first one is.
This is the way Johan explains it. It's like, man, and you go in and there's a big bear in the house. I was like, well, how is that scary? And he's like, man, it's just you go up the stairs, you're going into the house, you're going all over the place, and the bear just keeps going after you. And there's this huge bear, and I feel like if you turn around to even want to look at it, like it's enough for you to lose like a distance between you and
but that's not even scary, like compared to just getting like bum rushed by.
I found it weird that was like his fear.
Yeah, no, big bear.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 was scary for me. Silent Hill 2 was, when I played it at the time, was obviously like at the height max of like graphics, and you're just like, oh my god, and everything was like, this is closest to real as you can get. But it was scary for the most part because they really like, at least to me, it felt like they concentrated on the monsters just being like outright creepy and just being the most like phobia-inducing like or themed creatures, because you had one creature which was like some guy, like if he was strapped in like some straitjacket, but it's skin, right? And you would beat it till it falls to the floor, and it would stay still on the floor. But if it wasn't dead, like the moment you walked up to it, it would start skittering around like a roach. So already, like if you have fear of roaches, you're just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And it's just a bunch of other crazy shit.
Yeah. I guess like people have different like different things that they're afraid of, I guess, in games, because some people like they can see like really scary monsters or creepy like things and they won't be phased. I mean, they will probably get scared from something completely different, like from seeing like just grotesque things or whatever. I don't know, like I know that in Cthulhu the creatures aren't what's scary. What's scary is that like when as you're going looking for like the creatures or like trying to find out like we're trying to go make it to like the last place or whatever, you just see like a bunch of people like in weird situations. Like you see a guy who was experimented on, he's completely dead, a guy going crazy like in a cell and saying crazy things, or some girl who was like hung up or something. Just seeing all these like images and being involved in that, like I know that like terrifies people sometimes as well.
You know that
for me it's just that feeling of like alone, like you have no team, no one's with you, you're on this alone and you gotta do it. Like,
yeah.
So whenever I feel like there's no one I can talk to in the game to help me, that right there scares the shit out of me.
You know, Del Toro is making a Cthulhu-themed movie, right?
Really?
I think it's based off one of the books, the H.P. Lovecraft books, which is the Mountain of Madness, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Tom Cruise is the lead.
Tom
I
Cruise.
think that's what it said, right?
I can't remember. He's been wanting to do that movie for a long time.
Who?
Before Del Toro.
Del Toro?
Before even The Hobbit and stuff.
I can only imagine. He loves those monsters, man. He loves doing like those prop monsters. So can you imagine? Like a good like
it would be awesome
H.P.
if you
Lovecraft
can pull it
movie
off.
with like a great actor like Tom Cruise, like at the like.
Yeah, in fact, I think he was getting ready to make it, and then he got like wrapped up in all the Hobbit bullshit, and then that fell through, and he ended up going straight into Pacific Rim. Yeah, so maybe he's still going into the other one. You
gotta figure like that's good practice, right? Pacific Rim.
Yeah, he said he made that one like, what was it? Under budget and ahead of schedule. He ended up making it because he learned how to prepare because he was learning how to prepare things for The Hobbit and shit, because that thing has to go
consecutively, like seamless. Or
sort of. It's just the fact that you have to do so much preparation before doing that movie, like to prepare all the crew and all the sets and everything like that, and take it to the location, because you have to shoot that shit in crazy locations,
right?
And you have to have a ton of crew, a ton of extras, all this shit. So everything has to be orchestrated, and he learned a lot from that.
Do they film it all at once, like they're doing part 1, part 2, and part 3? Or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
at least a good portion of it,
mm-hmm.
And then like they'll come in and film like.
Well, look how quickly the first 2 Hobbit movies came out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's like months apart. I don't even think it's been like a full year since the first Hobbit.
6 or something
like that.
I remember movies taking forever to come out on DVD.
Yeah,
but now they come out fast.
But I think it depends on how they do, like in the box office. Like if they do really, really well, it takes forever to come out. But if they do like
once they're out of there though, like once it's been like a few months and they're not in the theater anymore, that's it. They're like in the next couple months they're in
exactly. Like I remember, I feel like some movies took like a year. I remember back in the day, like when Mortal Kombat came out or something. I
remember Jurassic Park taking a long ass time to come out, like on VHS.
Well, that's because I think it was still in theaters in some places.
Maybe, I don't know. Like, I just remember it took forever.
But for Pacific Rim, it's like I could have sworn we had seen it like 2-3 months ago, and already like I saw it at Walmart, and I'm like, oh damn.
I still need to see Superman. I still want to see it.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
I gotta see it, man.
I haven't seen that one either.
We should watch it sometime. Let's watch it right now.
We could watch it right now.
Download it.
No. I thought you had it on you.
Nah. I don't got shit on me.
On your Nexus tablet?
Yeah, no, I don't got it. I delete everything. What I have on there is like The Great Gatsby or something.
With Jay-Z?
Yeah, with Jay-Z.
He comes up?
Cake.
Wait, does he come out in that movie?
No, he's like on the soundtrack or something.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
I know. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen the soundtrack yet.
I've seen it.
You got a necklace on my... Was it? I got a necklace around my chest.
Tom Fo.
Carrot cake.
Tom Fo.
It's a brand of food. So what were you saying about Mass Effect 3? You want to have a sprightly discussion?
Damn, I can't remember. I think it was something... I was just going to tell you where I was at but there was something about... I forgot what I was looking at. I think I was looking at like world map themes for games. There was like a post on Kotaku or something about it, and in the comments everybody was posting from all these games. And then there was one particular game that it made me think like, holy shit, like this thing is what we should make. Like no one does this thing anymore, and people should.
Okay.
What?
And I can't fucking remember what game it was, and it's fucking killing me. God damn.
Was it an RPG?
What did
Yeah,
it
or
look like?
something like that. I
What
don't know
system?
Can't remember, man.
Damn.
Cannot remember shit about it.
Damn.
Fuck. But it was really interesting, and I can't remember what about it was fucking interesting.
System Shock 2?
I think it was a Japanese sort of game or something.
Coreno.
Corano sponsor.
Was it Japanese game?
Yeah, it had to have been.
It was.
And you don't know what about it like it was? Or?
It was Bandai.
I can't fucking remember.
It was
I think it's something about the way you move around on the world map, or the way
Was it
they
like
handle
fluid, at
the
least?
way you handle like the maps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That no one really does. Fuck, I got it. It was Dragon Quest 8.
Dragon Quest 8.
Yeah, because it kind of has a world map, but when you're just walking around, you kind of it was pretty much just a picture that I saw of it. They're showing the world map theme, and I'm like, oh shit, that's how kind of every game should do their fucking world map. You're just walking around like it's a regular level, but it's the world map.
Oh wait, was that the fully associated one?
Yeah.
I remember we had that game.
Yeah. I was just thinking like, okay, just make them fucking jump. Exactly. That's pretty much it. It's an RPG, and you get into random battles. But I'm like, okay, just take that part out and make them jump and make it an action game, and that's it. That game is perfect already.
Yeah.
Like they have the awesome animations and stuff, and you're
like
set.
like make the world map like a level itself, kind of, or like make it like.
Well, yeah, the
interactive,
way they handle it, because they had like hills and things like that, and you could look over and see like all the expanse of the level and everything, and
And you had that beautiful orchestra.
yeah, and that had and any soundtrack that we do, I swear, just make it just fully orchestrated, because that game had an awesome fucking theme.
Well, according to Maui, and according to Maui's,
What did I
that
say?
guy is gonna come in like, I get paid $5,000 to go tune violins, and then I make a music.
What?
No, that song, that guy.
That guy is gonna be our music dude. Oh man, you don't even know about him. That's
Which
not
guy are we
good.
talking about?
There's some dude.
He works with
He
you
works
or
with you.
something.
And apparently
He's like a
on
session
the project
musician or
as a
something?
music creator.
Well, here's the thing.
No. What's the real thing?
Originally, Marcel said that Bringle was gonna do it,
That's the guy.
and Bringle,
Said nope.
No.
and then out of nowhere, Bryant said that he was talking to Stefan.
Who the hell is Stefan?
He also works with us.
Okay.
So here's the thing, Bringle is like he does do like orchestra composition and composing and shit.
So why are we
So-
using him?
That's what I would push for. But Marcel said something about like, oh, he just doesn't seem like so on board on this thing.
Man,
and
it's just
I'm like,
Stefan's
well,
so much cooler.
Because we don't got shit.
And Stefan does a lot of very modern stuff. Like he does like
He does
like that style
like
would
Borderlands 2
never
kinda
fix.
thing?
No, he does like it's really hard because I don't even know the terminology for that kind of music that's
Mechanized
popular
with
nowadays.
your
But it's like he does a lot of like fast rock, punk, electric, contemporary electro plash.
All right,
type
Devil May Cry.
fucking-
Yeah. Devil
Like,
May Cry. or no, like the last song from Revengeance.
Oh my god.
It could be like
you know, I was
any-
playing that too.
What?
The game's awesome.
That game is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What is Revengeance?
It's the Metal Gear
Metal Gear
game.
Solid
With
Rising.
Raiden.
The
Oh,
running
okay.
game.
Like you're cutting everything
Remember
up.
when you saw me fucking playing against
Isn't it-
that last guy, the senator?
If I don't like 20 times, I'm
Isn't
playing
that
on
game
the hardest mode.
Isn't it a fucking bitch to cut off their left fucking hand?
Yeah.
I cut off their hand all the fucking time, and it's like no, it's not. It's like not showing up.
I promise you'll have the hardest time trying to do a no-kill completion. That was impossible for me.
How do you do a no kill completion?
You have to cut off both their legs and an arm. And you can't cut them in the chest or the head. So it's just like, pickle, pickle. And you have to leave him there, and then he'll crawl with one arm, and he can still get hit by his friends, and it counts as
Oh.
your kill.
Oh, okay, nice.
So if he gets killed by his friends, it's you fucked up. So
The
you
thing-
have to like get everybody.
The thing I can't do is save any civilians. I can't do it. I'm like, oh, gotta fight him. And he's just there.
I love how like
I never saw any civilians.
Yeah, I saw like 2.
I love at the end of every boss fight, I make sure I slice them all to like just like picadillo, just like straight up, just like. But then the cutscene right after, they're like, "Oh, you killed me, dude."
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, "No way, you would not be
like
talking."
like that fucking, you know, that wolf kind of robot thing that you rebuild it or reprogram. And shit.
No, the thing is, it's assumed you didn't chop it to pieces.
And I chopped it to like the game was like having trouble keeping up with the numbers and shit. And I'm playing it on PC, so it's fucking crazy. I think I cut this one thing where it was just the game starts slowing down hard until it just ends up blowing up and disappearing. Fuck, but it was crazy. And I was doing it with that kind of pole arm thing that does a lot of like slices. That thing, and it fucking annihilated it. It was crazy.
Dude.
Comes back later, he gives you the sword.
I've only been able to cut like 3 or 4 like left hands, and I'm like, I tried to specifically, and I even moved to catch it, and then I don't know, it just doesn't pop up. And then
is that so you can get that thing from their hand, or
yeah,
you get like more points or something?
Yeah, and then on top of that, you also unlock like character histories and stuff like that, and like radio dialogues. It's you get more from the game from like those hands than like anything else. Like that's like pretty much like an offhanded story delivery. Get it? Offhanded?
Every pun intended.
If only they made it like how Kojima's game was originally being,
just
you know, where you could perfectly just move to stuff, and do it without cutting anything else. Because I think that's what's fucking me up. Like, or I'm cutting it like straight, like crazy.
He's gonna be like.
Or I don't think it's fair if you cut off their whole fucking arm. It's like, yeah, I got the hand.
Yeah,
it's
but
there.
They don't count it. Yeah.
No, you have to get it like in that zone.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Right in that square.
Cut off a hand. I cut off your hand.
You cut off my own hand.
It still counts.
What the fuck was? Okay. So the world map music, fucking awesome in that game.
So we got
also Ni no Kuni is great too, man.
I've been playing it. I love it.
That one has a great world map theme. Probably better than the Dragon Quest one, but still the orchestra. They're both really well.
They got that Tokyo Philharmonic in there, man. That shit is beautiful.
In which one?
In Ni no Kuni.
You would cry, right?
I
cried right at the beginning of that game.
I haven't played it.
You played it?
Yeah, right at the beginning of that game.
Yeah.
It's a tearjerker, through and through.
Through and through.
Find that fucking song.
Fluency. Of Ni no Kuni.
Yeah, for either one.
Is the way you ask.
So Stefan's thing sounds more like Borderlands 2 then.
I can't really remember like what Stefan's thing sounds like, man.
It's alright, man.
Just look up Borderlands 2 OST, and
Electric Boogaloo.
I think it's the song, the one that it's called like Bandit something, and that's the one that has like that Trent Reznor like thing. I was like, man, you could tell like it was totally stolen from like just 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
It's got that 300 and
like it literally like it's building up and then it's just it's like straight up like that ripped. They just stole it and just copy pasted it right in.
Let's see if I can find it.
We gotta use like the soundtrack from like Inception and just like get sued.
That's too
but
crazy,
make a great game.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna sue you, that's fine.
That's the thing. Even with what we have now, I can't see a good game out of it. Like when I picture it, I can't see it.
You know, me and Elaine were talking about a game to make.
Which song did you guys want me to look up?
The Ni no Kuni world map thing. I think it's called like Field.
I was talking to Elaine about like a game. And we were thinking like of a small game for the game jam that's coming in next week because we want to do it, and we were thinking like if like the theme was like eating food or something like that. Like it'd be funny if we made like a you know like that game Surgeon Simulator. Yeah. Just like that you have to drink. You just have to be able to drink a cup of water.
Oh, you don't remember that game in WarioWare?
No.
Okay, it was awesome. It's like there's a cup and it's like, all right, you gotta drink it. It's like, and you have to do it with the remote. You know? You just spill it all over your fucking face.
For some reason, I was loving that TIFF video that I sent you guys. They showed the Surgeon Simulator.
For some reason, it's like.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That Surgeon Simulator thing, and where they play that song, though. Where did I go wrong? Oh, that's my friend, and his ribs and everything.
This is going everywhere. That game does not give a shit, though, man.
That game is
I was
awesome.
playing it at Steven's house for like a while back.
That game is so much
Yeah,
fun.
'cause he's like, oh yeah, you just gotta try to do put the heart in here.
It's a
The
fucking
thing is, you
bitch,
just take the hammer, break the ribcage into
crack the ribs.
pieces, take out the lungs. Just
The funniest thing is when you grab like the laser thing and then you try lasering things and you just let go of it and it's like it's just cutting and burning the guy all over the fucking place.
Was it the same guy that did Quap?
No.
Oh, I know.
No, I don't think so, at
Oh,
least.
I don't think so either. It's so really funny.
Quap is an awesome game, though.
Yeah.
Just because of that chair, it's on fire.
They still talk about that game, man.
Really, Quap?
Yeah, all the time. They're like, oh man, it's this art game kind of thing.
Really? Nah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just a
serious.
fucking troll-ass game where it's just
Exactly.
For interpretive
I think
fans.
people take things way too fucking. I don't know.
Like, I can understand the Gone Home thing because there's no gameplay in it. You just pretty much walk through a house and hear narrative.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like those Japanese visual novels.
Yeah, but those aren't games either.
Those are
like,
not
That's
games.
why they call them visual novels.
Yeah.
That's what that game should be. But no, it's a fucking game. That's art. It's just art game.
It's art.
That's not fair. That's like getting a painting and then you can move around. Oh, it's a game. Oh, because you can fucking move around. And I made it for fucking PC or something.
What's it
That
called?
sounds like a fun game.
That's the game, bro.
It's called Secretary of Transportation.
You didn't believe games was art? There you go.
I was in
Fucking Monet.
I was in technical writing, and we were talking about like ethical approaches to certain things, right? But then my teacher ended up going off in a rant, and he talked about like wars and stuff like that. And he goes, he's like, oh, because there are people, and I recently found out that there are people that they wait till a war starts somewhere, and it's like, is there a museum there? And then thieves and Indiana Jones types show up and rob the shit out of those museums. And I'm just thinking to myself, Indiana Jones types, but like it belongs in a museum, but another one.
Another one, right?
But do you know how fucking insane like your world would have become if he didn't say types? If he just said thieves and Indiana Jones come to another museum. Like he's out there fighting the good fight.
Sleeping in a
Trying to stop
sarcophagus
those
at night.
thieves. But it's just crazy to me, like damn. And the thing is, he explained it. He went into detail, and I left the class, and online told me, I think I'm gonna be an international thief because it's just like they go in, the war's being fought, nobody gives a shit. You go to the museum, break all the alarms, just take
They
everything,
just ransack the fucking place.
and you just leave.
Get a big old
I hope
burlap sack.
that Harrison Ford's dying words is, I belong in a museum.
Did you see him in Ender's Game?
Top men. Yeah, I saw him in this game. He plays a perfect jerk.
Wanna be fucked by top.
Top man.
Yeah, he's good in that.
I haven't seen Ender's Game.
He's good. He's good.
You think he's gonna be good as Han Solo, old man Solo?
No, he's not gonna be fucking old man. So
Yeah, he is.
Fucking
He's reprising his role as Han Solo, and so is Luke.
she shouldn't. None of them should.
You don't think so?
And-
Like even as like
and what's-
segue characters?
in the new Star Wars,
Yeah.
No, they shouldn't even be in that.
you're gonna love it and then hate it at the same time.
It's
I feel
it's
like
why bother? No, the thing
can't
is, no
win.
one wants to see an old Han Solo.
you can't win. You really can't win though because people think they want to see that. Then when they actually see it, they're gonna be
Yeah.
like,
I hope they do it, and it just doesn't get into the cut of the movie.
Hope like he makes like,
Like it's
a cameo
in the
like,
extras or something.
I mean, I can see it being like the whole Spock thing for Star Trek. You know what I mean? But you just have like the old cast there that
Is
they
it-
show up
is
like
being
they're there
directed by the
just
same guy?
to give you like a plot, and then you move on with the characters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I would figure Luke is gonna be like the head of the Jedi.
You know what it is? Is that I'm picturing? It's like they're just gonna put him in the same Han Solo getup, like with the tiny vest and shit. And he just old man with the same fucking getup, you know?
He doesn't have any other lines. Like,
shooting Greedo's fucking
Shooting
family
grease.
with his grease gun.
Could you get going, you pirate? As an extra, like as a cameo, I can do with that.
They're just gonna be one of those characters that just deliver the reason for the main characters to go on, and I feel like that's a good role for it. I feel like I don't have a problem with that, but if it's gonna be like old Luke and old Han Solo, and that's gonna be their story, then it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it would be.
He grabs Luke, puts his arm around his shoulder, and they go into a tent. And just times have changed, kid. Just go right in there.
And, And then Shia LaBeouf shows up. He's like, I'm in this movie too.
Hey guys, me too.
That's how the movie begins and ends at that point.
Oh my god. Those pod racers.
And he's balancing between the pod racers, and he's trying not to get his balls hit by those leaves.
Oh my god.
Is that what happened in the Crystal Skull?
Yes.
I haven't seen
He was
that fucking
between two
movie.
jeeps and like in a cornfield or something, and like his balls were like constantly being hit by corn or something. And that's the joke.
It's a humding.
Oh my god.
Did you like that Krieg backstory?
The what?
The Krieg backstory for the Borderlands 2?
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Dude,
Wasn't it Nolan North doing the voice?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it was. The conscious. Right?
Yeah, the conscious. Was it really him? Like I couldn't
Pretty
tell.
sure. I'm
Did
pretty
you see
sure I
him
know
out?
his voice.
You gonna see it?
What are you doing here?
It's good, man. It's good.
I'm out. I never played Borderlands.
You don't have to.
I
It's
know.
so good. Like it has like such a. I don't know. Like I've already seen it like 5 times just because like I love the narrative. Like
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly. It was really well written. Like that guy is good. As much as I want to hate on him,
Is
you
it
know,
the one just about
he's really good.
the drawings?
No.
No.
Or-
It's not like it's just it's a backstory for some character there.
For a
Like,
character you
they
get to
actually
play?
show like
But it's like a cinematic.
Yeah.
And they introduce him with like a great narrative, and you know
Okay.
like they show a few things, and it's just we're like, oh, man, like I don't know, it's awesome. And it's all done in the Unreal Engine.
The thing is, I barely have time to pick up my phone at my job, and I know you guys talk a lot, and you guys put up a lot of stuff, and I can't really backtrack all that.
But that's not my fault.
Yeah, it kind of is. I'll have to be in, like, and I'll go and I'll find 1 or 2 links, and I saw these, It's like, but you didn't see that one.
But you didn't say that one.
But I didn't see that one.
the one that mattered.
Damned if you do, damned if you do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna mention something that I can't remember.
My life for the life of me.
It's being directed by the same guy
J.J.
who did Star
Abrams.
Trek, right?
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams?
He quit Star Trek to do Star Wars.
Really?
Which is funny because I remember reading an interview that they had of him where he specifically was quoted saying that he would love to work in Star Trek because it was something that he was never into.
Yeah.
So he could do it justice, but he would never like to work in a movie like Star Wars, which he loved, because he
Into
feels like
darkness.
he will never be able to do it justice. But here he is.
Yeah, but it's one of those things too. Even with Watchmen, it's I remember Patton Oswalt. He said about this guy who did 300 and everything.
Yeah,
that
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder was he directed and shit. And he's like, look, man, it doesn't matter. That movie is gonna get made regardless if anyone wanted it or didn't want it. Just thank God that it's him, because it could have been some other motherfucker,
true.
and it could have come out like
It could have been
terrible.
Jerry Bruckheimer.
It could have come out so fucking bad, and it came out. What's the worst you can do? The worst that you can fucking what he ended up doing is just almost word for word, shot for shot, the comic.
The comic, and change the ending.
You can't fuck that up. You know, so it's a solid fucking good thing.
He changed the ending so it's more coherent to like the audience.
Because you can't get into like all the backstory of the psychic crazy shit.
that and
all
a
that.
fucking squid. Does
Yeah,
not make
it doesn't.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't translate to fucking
to the theaters.
to the silver screen.
We're talking about Watchmen?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree on that whole like thought pattern because it's like it could have been worse, but I liked it. I like Watchmen.
Yeah,
I
me
thought
too.
it came out good. Apparently, a lot of people felt the same way about Cloud Atlas. When I finished seeing it for the first time, which was not too long ago, I looked it up online, and a lot of people said like, "Oh, the book's good," but I feel like the movie did the same thing like Watchmen, where it was an edited version of the book that was better for it than it was like a worse,
The only problem with that movie is that it should have had a bigger budget.
a bigger budget. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really really shitty that like no one wanted to give those guys money.
Really? They didn't, like the Wachowskis?
They had to pay for that movie.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I figured that they would throw money at them so fast.
No. They bring there's kind of this system in Hollywood that they bring up that movie. Okay, we want to make this thing. It's a sci-fi movie, based on like different timelines and things like that with these actors and shit like that. And they kind of do the math. Okay, like strong actors, sci-fi, thing has to do with different timelines, and then they kind of get the nearest movie that was like that. Okay, they go straight to The Fountain. Okay, it's a real artsy sort of thing. The almost same sort of thing going on.
Like a
and then it equals. They'd make their money back. So we can't do that. We can't give you the money for that because the
They
crazy
can make it.
the movie math doesn't add up.
Right. Damn,
So
man.
no one wanted to give him the money.
Damn, that sucks
is
because
so
like, and The Fountain's
fucked
such a
up.
great movie.
Exactly,
I really
but
loved it.
it doesn't make its fucking money back.
Apparently not everybody. If it didn't
Nope.
make its money back. And that's what sucks.
Look at something awesome. Like sometimes it doesn't make sense because,
Like The Matrix 3.
like the Matrix 3.
Jay-Z.
Completely threw up where you were going. I just knocked it
Like
right
The
to the-
Matrix 3 featuring Jay-Z.
Yeah,
I love that you're getting serious. I was just like,
yeah.
wing.
Getting serious and like fuck it.
What were you gonna say?
Like Scott Pilgrim,
I
which
love
is an
Scott Pilgrim.
incredible fucking movie. Well made. I don't know how people don't like it, but you know what? No one fucking went to see it.
Really?
No one fucking went to see it.
I
man.
hope that doesn't
I
happen
think it
with
maybe
Ant-Man,
made
dude.
its money back, but I think all the effort that they put in didn't make much back.
It was mostly the Scott Pilgrim comic book fans and Michael Cera fans.
Yeah, and Michael Cera.
And I was both. No, I hope Ant-Man turns out alright then. Because, well, not really. I mean, Edgar Wright, I think, like Hot Fuzz and like those, what is it, the
Cornetto trilogy.
the Cornetto trilogy movies, like they end up doing pretty good, right?
Yeah, they have to.
The Broken Lizard ones?
I wish those guys still made movies.
I think they do.
Really? Like, the last one I saw was like a beer fest. And
Yeah,
that's
no,
it.
they made that movie Slam Salmon.
I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it either, but
I never even heard
they
of
say
it.
it's really they say it's really funny.
I gotta watch it.
I know, I want to watch it too. They also directed and they were in Dukes of Hazzard.
Really?
Yeah, they wrote it and stuff like that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man. Holy shit.
It's really fucking funny. Like they have a podcast, so they talk about it every now and then about being on the set and all that shit. And how when they were going out drinking, like they would go out and they're trying to like fuck chicks or something like that, and every fucking chick anywhere was all over fucking Johnny Knoxville for some reason. That son of a bitch.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
It's a Johnny, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's got that Wolverine jacket.
I guess so.
Oh my god, you were in the ringer. Oh my god, jackass. How's Bam? How's Ryan?
How is it?
Well done.
Really?
Well done. Oh my god. And this is the end of the podcast. We're going to hell.
Bad Majora comes out, beats the shit out of me.
Banana.
That's awesome. He comes in, whatever the fuck I want.
Just
What is he doing now?
jumping off of buildings.
Skating into the distance.
Skating his depression. Like, 'cause I think him and Ryan were like
Yeah, they were close buds. They lived
real
together.
like
or
childhood
something
friends,
like that.
man. Like that's why he would always. I always think to myself like, damn, Ryan looks like a tough guy. I wouldn't want to mess with him, but like he felt so comfortable pulling pranks on him. I'm like, oh, they must really like know each other really well for him to be like that brave or whatever. And Ryan really wouldn't get him back. He would just kind of like, oh, what are you doing? And then that's it. Like maybe later on he'll get him back, but he wasn't really like a get even type of guy. He just like get mad.
Yeah.
And damn. And then when that happened, I remember in the news he was there crying and stuff.
That shit sucks though, but
It's crazy, man.
yeah. What can you do?
No,
Yeah.
I wonder if they can still or they still want to make Jackass movies.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think like those movies like do well for them. I suppose.
You do,
Yeah.
but I know he's also like a sponsored skateboarder.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it?
Bam, yeah, he's actually really good.
Does he actually go out and like do stuff? Like
I don't know. I don't watch the X Games.
them sex games?
I think that he might have back in the day, but when he found out that he maybe could make a better career just out of his reputation alone, that
Eating
with a
shit.
Jackass and eating shit, that he didn't put too much. But he.
Oh, I remember Johnny Knoxville made that movie, that Bad Grandpa one.
Yeah, Bad Grandpa.
And that was like a Jackass
yeah, it
thing.
is. It's like a spin-off.
I never got to see it.
But
It looked-
I
it
wanted
looked
to.
kinda funny.
I think it did a fucking killing in the
No way.
theater. Yeah,
No way.
almost positive. Like it was making a shitload of money.
God. But the
I also
thing
heard it
is,
was good too. I also heard it was good.
Damn, I heard it was good, but
It looks
you know,
pretty funny,
it's,
though.
it's
Like-
crazy that like a movie like that will like do super good, and it's like super unknown, like
What did they compare?
just out of nowhere.
But where's the Hollywood like comparisons at? Oh, a movie about a guy who's who. a guy
No,
who's
because
like-
how do you what do you compare it to? The next thing is like Jackass, which okay, it costs almost no fucking comparatively
Yeah,
almost no money to make.
yeah.
It can only make money. That's like
You're
the Paranormal Activity movies.
Yes.
You know why they keep fucking making them?
Because it's easy to make.
Because
It's
the
cheap.
first one cost like $10,000, and then it made like
million,
like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So how the fuck? It's like make one all the time. Keep making them, for God's sake.
And don't you
It
go
could
up
cost-
the
it
budget.
could
The
cost
budget
$1
was 10,000. Keep the budget.
But you saw
10,000.
like the trailer for the latest one.
No,
I haven't seen the trailer.
It's like all Santeria and stuff like that.
Is it still like the same perspective? Like
Yeah, like there's a camera involved,
okay.
and it's like, oh, like the lady downstairs, she got killed or something.
I wish it was just like that, like so clueless. Like she got killed or something.
Yeah, and it's like Hispanic dudes, and it's just like, oh, you got possessed by a ghost, and like these gangueros come out and they try to beat up the main character, and then they get flung away or something, and it's just like, oh, it's my protector, guardian angel, and it's like
They made a fucking plot out of this. They gave it a plot.
and then it's like, no, he's trying to steal your soul, you got to go pray to the thing, and it's like, oh fuck, and then like the picture is just like the Virgin Mary crying or something.
But the main character is Slowpoke Roger.
I'm sorry for being racist.
No, when we're having breakfast and stuff, I was asking his dad like who's more racist, Speedy Gonzalez or Slowpoke Rodriguez.
What did his dad say?
He said Slowpoke Rodriguez. I'll take his expert opinion on it.
I think so.
On
Just
racism?
because,
Yeah.
at least Speedy Gonzalez was a little bit. Nah, I think that's super racist as well.
Yeah, they're both insanely racist.
You know why he was fast, right?
Yeah, we have to make it in.
What a fucking crazy ass concept for a character.
What I like about it is that they tackled the racism from both sides. It's like, oh yeah, fast, get into the fucking country. Slow because Mexicans are lazy.
Because he's just visiting.
Exactly. He's already here.
And he's drunk at all times.
Yeah. He's Slowpoke Rodriguez.
God damn. And they got away with that? It's a different time, man.
Yeah, it's way different time.
It's already all rights reserved.
I wonder if they were like. I think that like even when they made the new Looney Tune cartoons, like that character wasn't in it.
Fuck no, man.
That character was never in it. He's
I'm
never
pretty
in it
sure he's
again.
still in there like randomly, but you can't do anything with that guy.
They got rid of his accent. They gave him a business degree.
Oh my god.
He's a scientist.
Did you see that they're making a new Powerpuff Girl? It's exciting.
I saw.
Oh, I don't know. It's cool.
You saw it?
Which is really funny because
Is it still
it was
Craig
Japanese
McCracken?
cartoon first, and then it went to Cartoon Network, and now they're remaking it like again on Cartoon Network.
I'm sorry?
That it was Japanese cartoon first,
What, the Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
Really?
and then they made it into like an American cartoon,
Did they really?
and now they're redoing it.
Why is it that you think it was
I don't think it was a Japanese
one?
cartoon first.
I've seen like a few Japanese episodes of it though, and it's like a completely different like type of artist rendering.
Oh, I have to look it up.
I
but
remember.
I don't.
Yeah, because I remember
But
it
this
being
is
like
I saw it a long time
like
ago.
an original thing from like that Kraken guy who did
Craig
Dexter's
McCracken.
Lab, and the other guy who.
Either that or the Japanese ones look different as hell because like they're more grown up, they're teenage.
Oh, that could just be anything then. That could have just been like a Buddha.
No, like their name was Bubbles, Buttercup, and Blossom. Like I saw it with like the captions and everything on the bottom.
That's so weird.
But I'm not sure if that's. And now it's just questioning whether it's an interpretation of the show or whether it was there before the.
Yeah.
Or whether it was an episode of Powerpuff Girls that was just like making fun of like that whole
Which
thing.
I have a feeling like I've seen that.
Yeah, me
you
too.
know.
I feel like that was one of the episodes.
Yeah.
Did they keep the same animation? Because this animation looked
No.
No, it would have been completely different.
Yeah, they were
like
just
looking
like
like straight up anime, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was DBZ or something.
That might have been.
I didn't know they were making another one. That's cool, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty high def, but it's like it's almost like if you're watching the same cartoon except like it's modern day. So like there's depth of field and stuff like that, and there's bright colors and everything's vibrant.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So I'm like, damn, bro, it's pretty damn cool.
Good, because that guy's awesome.
And that cartoon was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see those renders of like the grown-up version? Like they make them more like a Marvel. Kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
like,
I seen him. That
that
was cool.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Salud.
I mean, nobody was saying anything.
No, I saying that.
the good old burp.
No, break that silence, man.
But I
Yeah.
saw the trailer for it, the Powerpuff Girls thing,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
and they still kept Mojo Jojo the same.
Mo ho ho ho. My ex always, every time I mentioned that, that's all she would say. Mo ho ho ho, because she only saw that show in Spanish.
And it was just moho.
Mo ho ho.
Moho.
Mo ho ho ho.
Leanne would always watch Pinky and the Brain in Spanish in Venezuela. because she knows the whole theme song like in in Spanish.
Espingue.
Despingue.
Despingue.
Espingue and that brain.
Y el cerebro. Espingue y el cerebro.
Jesus Christ.
Racism.
It's
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Was the song Espingue y cerebro. I was like, it's the same exact rhythm and everything.
Wow, awesome.
You did it. You
That's
did
dead
it.
on.
So it's racist dead on.
Predictable.
But I always thought that Brain looks like Clarence Boddicker.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
And he sounds
Like a human
him.
interpretation of him.
And he also sounds like him
He does,
in like a weird way.
kind of.
But he sounds like
Because he's got all those
Yeah.
Orson Welles.
Yeah, Orson Welles. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way he spoke, which is weird. You know, they're remaking his movie in 1984. You know who the main actress is? Your favorite. Take a guess.
My favorite actress?
Yeah, she's your favorite. Sarcastically favorite actress.
I don't know.
She's your favorite.
I'm trying to think of like female like actresses that I don't like.
She's your favorite.
I can't think of one.
She came out in a movie with the vampires,
Oh really?
and she has no expression.
I hope to God she learned some.
Oh my god, the
Fuck.
girl from
He
Twilight.
said 1984.
Yeah,
God
the Big
damn.
Brother movie, right?
Yeah.
Not movie, but book.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was apparently a movie, and they're remaking it.
it was a
And-
book, and they made like there's like several movies of it.
Yeah, like it was a book first from Orson Welles, and then they made like I guess there was a big
No,
budget
it was
movie.
it was who the fuck made that book, man? I don't think it was. Do you remember who? I think Fahrenheit 451 was Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, it was him. Because I
And
have
who the
book.
fuck is the other asshole? Made 1984.
I thought it was Orson Welles.
Nah, he directed one of the older ones, I think, or was acting in it.
That's probably
He's an
what
actor,
it
director, motherfucker. Can't fucking remember.
Just can't remember. 1984.
Narrated by the Brain.
George Orwell.
Thank you.
Yes, George Orwell. There you go. Take that, Ken. Yes, so they're getting what's her name?
Kristen Stewart.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, that's
How
too
do you
bad.
feel about that? How do you feel great?
No, I don't remember.
Did you read that book?
Yeah, a long ass time ago though.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's cool. But you know,
What did you like about it?
no stuff. You know,
Things.
you know, like all that you get from that thing is like the
Big Brother.
yeah, the message and everything is where it's funny how they could predict like how everything's headed and how everybody's like the privacy's getting like eradicated. I mean,
Right.
That's kind of how it is and how people don't seem to mind so much.
Yeah, I mean it becomes a daily thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you give up certain things, but then what do you get? You get to see what everyone's up to constantly.
Mhm.
But everyone's life is public now.
Yeah, and is that good or bad?
Well, the thing is, you get to make a choice. You can not be on Facebook or any of these things or Twitter, and no one knows what the fuck you're up to.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to a podcast with this guy, Richard Madden, the guy who plays Robb Stark in Game of Thrones, and he doesn't do any social media stuff because at all, because he doesn't like people knowing what the fuck he's doing. No, it's my phone. Just like,
I was like, what the?
just gotta shut it the fuck up.
Me.
But yeah, he doesn't take part in it, so because he doesn't want anybody really knowing what the fuck he's up to.
That's
Not
good.
for anything like, oh, they're gonna find me or shit like that, but
They're gonna find me.
the Illuminati's gonna find me.
They're gonna get me.
No, but he just doesn't think that should be what anybody is, knows about him. That's it.
I feel like the way they advertise it is just to specifically get you like on there to like advertise like what you're doing and stuff, and that usually works. Like, oh, I want to tell people what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I want people to come.
That's like a
and
feature.
Yeah.
Tell everybody where you're at, where your kids go to school, what are my weaknesses.
How do you feel?
Kind of like the way they advertise it.
I read a pretty interesting article, and the article was basically fictitious in the sense like none of it was real.
Yeah.
But it was the idea that Google is trying its best to build a city-state of its own. Where it
Oh,
would
I
have-
think I heard that thing too.
You read it?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty interesting. Do you have any opinions on that? Because I think that if it were to happen, if it were real, that they were to build a city-state, it would be like the next Athens. It would literally be the next Athens.
Yeah, that's the thing I read too. Yeah. I think, I think they're... I don't know if that's like the goal, like the direct goal, like that's... But they're setting up, and they have so many, like they have their hands in so many different fucking things, that it's just all like crazy research to make all these insane things and help out in all these different ways. And
it's the robotic studies of like human anatomy or not robotic study of human anatomy, but the study of human anatomy in robotics.
Yeah.
Solving death, apparently. Being able to, I guess, just create anything through AI. That's the singularity. Apparently, one of the CEOs is just really big on the singularity, and he feels like he can achieve it within his lifetime. And it's like, damn, man.
You don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Why does nobody want that?
Singularity.
Oh, you haven't picked the ending for Mass Effect 3.
No, but they talk about it. They talk about it. Fucking robots.
Did you say?
Oh, do you get that guest on your party?
Yeah, Legion, right?
Yeah.
Or Prime? Which one?
I don't know, the one with the N7 shit, and he's cracked up in the middle.
Yeah, it's Legion.
Yeah, no, because it's funny because they don't. I had him in part 2, but
yeah.
But obviously, I guess that playthrough didn't cross over. He did. I guess you destroyed them. And you didn't get him on your party.
Did you have that playthrough saved on your PC?
No. I'm saying the one that the game automatically gives you.
Oh no,
is
yeah,
that.
all the like stock choices are like, and that's why it makes me like when I played it on the PlayStation 3, which was switching over from my 360 to the PlayStation 3. I didn't have any of my choices, and I literally played part 1 and 2, getting every single like optimal like choice that I wanted, but it was almost perfect because it was like these people, like there was like special options for you to save 2 people, and I did it, and special options to like make these 2 people like you so much that you can like in part 2, like if you do a certain thing can you get Tali back in your team, and if you do that, like in part 3 something happens and stuff like that. And like when I read like all the connectors for part 2 and part 3, like I was like, oh shit, I did all of that.
Yeah, me too.
What the fuck? Like it sucks. And apparently like all like the stock canon choices are just him like being Renegade Shep. Like Renegade Shep is the stock choice.
Yeah.
So it makes me think like Renegade Shep is the stock ending as well. It might as well be, because it's like, fuck, if you chose Renegade everything before, why not after?
Because it's funny when I come across him in that Geth like crazy ship, and he's like, I've never seen a Geth like you before. Really? Like you saw him in the fucking last game. He was hanging out with you.
Yeah,
you guys are fucking killing things together. The exact same guy. He has never mentions that he's wearing like an N7 fucking thing. Mm-hmm. That's like his group. It's like, oh, where'd you get it?
I thought, when I first saw that and when they were releasing Mass Effect 2, I thought that would be the real, like, Shepard, where...
Look, that's too good. That's too good of an idea. Oh, shit, you know what? That's a good idea, though. like, in the game, like, because that's fucking awesome. Like, if the main character dies, but he's, like, back as that, like, crazy robot suit, but, he has that distinguishing thing.
Yeah. And I thought, like, that would have been cool if, like, that was, like, the real Shepard. If his, like... whole mentality was just like loaded up into like that guy and stuff like that, and then like obviously the Shepard that you're playing is just like a synthetic, and then there's an abstract between both of them where it's just like like that's the real Shepard and he's a robot and he's like a badass, and you're just like a fake Shepard and you're just making these decisions. What are you, fucking idiot?
Yeah.
Is that how the game is like, or is that
how
it makes?
All.
Oh, okay.
They did not go with that, and like I was really hoping that they would.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, oh, that's such a like weird twist, but an awesome like original like approach to something like that. You know what I mean? You kill the main character, because in part 2 the main character dies right in the beginning, and
it's almost hilarious, to be honest.
So who do you play as in like part 2?
He gets reconstructed.
Yeah.
And, same dude.
Okay.
Like there was no point in killing him,
and there was no point in bringing him back. Like that whole process, they should have just not killed him.
The thing is, I know what they were going for, but they just never touched on it in part 2 ever again. And in part 3, they lightly touch on it, and it's literally like just for the ending kind of thing. Like it's just for the ending kind of thing. Where, as in like you figure that it would be like a really big plot device, in the sense that it's not just like synthetics and humans, or a mixture of synthetic and a human, and like just go like a simple route like that. Like it would be like, oh, he's a full synthetic now, or now the world, like the society looks at him differently. Like they know he's back from the dead or something like that, And like it's like society shuns him or something like that. There was nothing like that.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
The only thing that had a problem was like what group he was in.
Yeah, and it was just like there was no point in like killing him and bringing him back other than just like to touch up the ending, and that's it.
You don't think it's ridiculous like how much like that one chick doesn't trust him, like for all the incredible shit he's done like in his life?
Well, who?
That chick Ashley. Yeah, she doesn't trust him, and was like about to fucking shoot him and kill him when he's saved like 1 million people, and I don't know, it's fucking stupid to me.
She's just
like, I don't know, you were in service, bro. Bro.
You were part of the bad guy.
And I saw that black guy too.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's there.
It's funny because you meet her again in part 2, and then you save her life at the end or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Or no, you save her life at that moment. Like you stopped her from getting kidnapped by the collectors, and even after that, she's like, "No, you're part of the bad guy. You fucking asshole." Blah, blah, blah. If I was Shepard, I would have just been like, "Pew pew pew, pew 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 pew."
Yo, collector. I like this stupid bitch out of my sight.
I was gonna play that game, Mass Effect 3.
You should, man. It's really cool. It's really fucking cool.
And that fucking soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
I never played any of them though.
Did you end up listening to that song just so you can hear the differences? Like,
no, I didn't end up doing
that. Man,
but I mean, I've heard like things like that though.
It's just funny because it's like literally like the first half of the song is just like.
That's where those sort of songs are the ones you could tell it's like the BioWare guys.
Yeah, and then like at a certain point it starts like making like an ambient noise, and it's trying to make it like scary, and it's like da, 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 and then it builds up, and then it just like instantly cuts to like a piano, and it's soft and it's smooth.
It's like okay, that's where like Hans Zimmer stepped in or something.
It's like Clint Mansell just coming in, just stealing my heart.
Wait, does he made the soundtrack for it?
There was 3 guys, Clint Mansell and like 2 guys from BioWare.
Oh shit!
Didn't he do the soundtrack for something?
The Fun?
You know,
was it
something like that?
Clint Mansell.
The Fun?
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
He makes really sad soundtracks.
Same one for like the Requiem for a Dream one.
Yeah.
But Hans Zimmer, man, knocked that out of the park with that Inception track.
He also knocked Klaus Badette right out of the park.
I know, it's pretty, baby.
Oh, I know it's pretty.
That's part of the soundtrack.
This is the intro to the song.
Yeah, that game is really cool though, but I just wish I could play as the guy. Because they just look fucking awesome. I like robot guys. So fuck it. Look, this thing, let's kill the main character, put on a robot body.
Robot body.
Yeah.
Has
same hat.
But they lost the main writer like halfway through, where the beginning portion of the Mass Effect 2. Because
was this a prequel?
What?
The 3, or is it part 2 a prequel? Or?
No, it's all in order.
It's all in order?
Sequential, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they lost the main writer for Mass Effect 1 when in the beginning stages of Mass Effect 2. So they say that like a lot of that had to do with like what his vision was, but since a big group of it didn't like the way it was going to end, like they said like, oh, it's going to be too controversial, or it's going to be like too out there, and it's not like going to click with anybody. And he pretty much said, well, fuck, I'm out of here.
Yeah, you could tell how actiony part 2 got like instantly.
I liked it though. I think part 2
was fun.
Probably the best out of like the 3, just because it makes the RPG elements a little better versus part 3, which is just straight up like action. Straight up just shoot 'em up.
But the thing to me was weird is that I didn't find like the relationships like the exact same. Like in part 1, you know how Garrus was or anything, and then suddenly in part 2 he's like fucking, it was a buddy cop movie with him.
Hell,
and it's like it wasn't like that at all in part 1. I'm like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
It's because he became like this crazy ass drunk, right, or something like that, and he's just like working for a gang that you had to like.
No, he became like this vigilante guy and started killing fucking gang guys. Like he would never have done any of that. You could tell, like, it's like
he was like
the script.
He was a soldier, right? Like he was like a straight up like honor soldier, kind of like paladin kind of dude, right? Like the archetype.
Yeah. He was just like that.
They brought him back to that. Like,
what do you think they did something like that?
In Mass Effect 3, they toned it down, but it was like all like buddy, like
Yeah, buddy cop.
testosterone.
Garrus is your
a different
fucking-
writer though? Or?
Yeah, but tell me you don't want Garrus to die, bro. Because once it became buddy cop, I was like, hell yeah, Garrus is my buddy.
Oh well,
I always have him on my team.
In part 3, I always have him on my team.
Hell yeah,
Always have him on my team.
Garrus is the shit.
Because he's fucking awesome, and I like the fact that he's like one of the only like real alien guys on the fucking team.
And he's the only one that gets scarred up.
Yeah, and he keeps it.
And he keeps it, yeah. Keeps it as a reminder.
Yeah, that's why I wish, like on my team, I wish like you had like some other fucking alien guys, you know?
Rex.
Yeah, everybody's dead. In part 3.
That's right.
In part 3, everybody's dead.
Everybody but Garrus.
Yeah, Garrus is cool. And that's why I wanted Legion. I'm like, fuck, give me a fucking robot then.
I love Morden. Morden is awesome.
Yeah, that.
Peace out.
Sorry, dog.
Sorry, Doc.
Yeah, but I've been doing everything like get the most like controversial like things to help build like the cruise, like the Arachnite. Build that shit. Like the Geth. I know you're gonna have a choice to have them help you or destroy shit. Build that shit. You know,
Yeah.
like
I
help
made
us
the
out.
same choice too, man. Because
Yeah,
the way I
everything.
thought about it was like, okay, you can get like the choices were like something and Geth, and I'm like, okay, Geth have like trillions in their group and they're a hive mind. They're gonna be the best fucking army out there.
Yeah,
So fuck that.
you're totally fine.
Yeah.
I think you won.
I was thinking like, at the end of part 2, I had made it so that when I had beaten all of Legion's missions, Legion told me that he would provide me his soldiers if I let them all like attach themselves to like their own free will internet or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I'm just thinking to myself, perfect, that's it. Like once part 3 comes along, I have the fucking Geth on my team.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's funny because if you don't know, Mami, like they give you like all these basically it's like these other aliens are coming in to wipe out all of like sentient life.
Okay.
And you pretty much have to like amass all the forces you possibly can of all the different races to fight them off. And they're overpowering. Like there's almost nothing you can do against these guys, but you have to get all the forces you can, and pretty much you have to make the choice of, all right, do you align with these people who might potentially, like, let's say you do beat these guys, they might be a threat later on,
Right.
or you side with them and, you know, fuck it, you're gonna have problems maybe later, or you say no and you take some other, like, bullshit, and you might not have enough power to, like, fight these guys.
How like vast are your options? Like, do you have like plenty like to choose from or not?
Like,
not much?
there's a lot of different options you have to choose from, but a lot, like, it's all, like weird, dangerous, like, alliances and stuff. But, like, there's just one race that you cure them of this kind of thing that's keeping their population in check. Because let's say they have, like, thousands of babies, and those babies grow up fucking fast, and there's these 800-pound fucking, like, tank guys that are, like, fierce, aggressive fighters. And if you get them on your side, you know, you have this race that's constantly pumping out soldiers fast as fuck to fight off these guys. And like that sounds like fucking great, but
the downside,
if once you beat these guys, then you have to deal with those fucking guys.
And the thing is, it's something that they make
had
it known.
Problem with before.
Yeah, and they make it known to you, like
like that guy's such a fucking stupid asshole.
Wait, what did he say?
Because the leader of that guy, who's like in charge of it, he's like, all right, and everybody's gonna we're gonna get revenge for what you guys did to us before, keeping their population in check.
Yeah. He's just like outright announcing, like, once the Reapers are dealt with, like we're next on the plate. We're gonna take over the galaxy. We're next on the plate.
Yeah.
But it's
so I'm like, whatever. I'll fucking shoot him in the brain like afterward. I don't even care. I'm like, fuck it. I got some missions to do after.
I love how in like part 1 and 2, the main enemies were these creatures called Geth, and they were like a synthetic creature, like pretty much robotic, but they had like a hive mind kind of thing. And in part 3, you can get them on your team.
Okay.
As in, like, to help you out, and like there'll be like some like ambient talk in the background where like a soldier will be like, I shared a foxhole with my buddy and he died fighting the Geth, and now we're on their side.
Yeah. And there's this whole race, and like, the problem with them is that they're this like way too advanced artificial intelligence that this one race made by accident, and then they had a big war, and they were like, and the people who created them were like pushed out of their home planet because of them.
Because of that, yeah.
And so now they have that home planet, and these people are like wandering in space, and they don't have a home really, and they're constantly at war, and there's like a huge like thing between them, and now like you join forces with them. So the other people don't exactly like approve of that. So everyone has a fucking problem with everything. But it's either you side with these guys or all life on the fucking universe gets wiped out. So
is there like a different ending to these games? Or
there's like three different,
but they don't really make
it's nothing. They're almost all the fucking same.
Like they added like a DLC ending kind of thing where like they tell you more about like where everybody left off with their life, kind of thing.
Like how the races like.
Not really. Like your friends, like
the individual characters,
like the individual characters, and like all the choices that you made for them and stuff like that, and what you helped them out in, and it kind of shows like a closure to everybody. That's pretty cool. I mean,
yeah,
pretty cool.
I have to download all that DLC.
And I don't really know too much about the game or anything.
It's really cool though if you got into it.
Download it.
It's too bad like for the Wii they didn't bring out like the trilogy or something, you know.
You just brought up part
Yeah.
3.
Uh-huh.
You know that would make sense because how the fuck are you supposed to play the other two?
Well, Steam only sells 1 and 2, so EA has some like weird agreement with like 1 and 2 or something. I don't know.
It's because they were originally like
BioWare titles before they were EA, right? Because the first Mass Effect was a Microsoft game, and it was Microsoft exclusive, and Microsoft pretty much paid for that game.
Yeah, and they were released like straight up on PC. Like there was no like crazy DLC thing like that.
No.
And then when the third one, you know, they had all that Origin bullshit in place.
Yeah. So part 2, I think, was the first EA game. I think.
Maybe.
And then no, not really.
I can't remember.
It can't be because if it's on Steam, then it wasn't an EA game. If it's on Steam.
Yeah.
Because they don't sell EA games on Steam. Not anymore.
Yeah. Either way, like
How come
it's
they don't
funny
sell them on Steam anymore?
They have
Because
their
they
own
have their own
Steam
thing.
kind of thing called Origins.
Oh, damn.
Or Origin.
Oh, wait, that was the thing you were talking about.
Yeah. What's funny though is that none of those 3 games have controller support.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's fucking crazy. I looked it up because I'm like, there's something wrong where I should. And some guy's like, man, I got so pissed at this thing, and I check back every like 6 months to see if someone has added like controller support or
Like a mod
updated.
or something?
And he's like, no, and no one's. And some guy goes, oh, and I went into this fucking like into this file and I messed around with a bunch of shit, and finally I found the part that controls all that bullshit, and I've messed around with it and, you know, see if this thing works, and then I check, oh yeah, it works really well, but it's completely unplayable in this certain thing, and I'm like, oh fuck this then. Like, I'll just play mouse and keyboard, man. Fuck you.
God damn, that sucks.
Yeah, because I like just kind of laying back, but
Oh, me
I have
too.
to be
That's
on
how
that
I play
shit.
14, dude. On
Yeah, I
the
know, me
controller,
too.
'cause that's the best way, man. It's just chill.
Yeah, and that's how I play Revengeance. It's just
What kind of controller? You use the PlayStation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play with the 360 one because that shit works on fucking everything.
Yeah, on the PC? Hell
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, I have a program that tricks my computer to think that the PS3 controller is the 360 controller. That's the
Yeah.
only way you can get it to work.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's super fun. You should check it out. And you have a fucking PC now. You can just download it. You know what's awesome about that game? You can't fuck with the graphics settings.
No?
It's just
Straight
what
on, like-
resolution do you want? And do you want like dynamic shadows or like some other shit? It's 2 different options, and it's like, okay, that's it.
But I mean, how much are they on Steam?
You can't get that on Steam. You have to get it on Origin, and
I
it's
know.
like,
Oh, no, part 1
it's
and
probably
2.
like
Part 1 and 2, there's sales all the time. Like, the lowest I've seen, like, both of them,
there's a
$9.
real good sale on on Kick-Ass Torrents. You can just you can get those things. You get all 3 of them.
Jesus.
Real good sale. It's hard to beat.
Oh, no.
I'll probably end up playing the other 2 though.
And replay
Maybe,
part
I
3.
don't know. Yeah, maybe. Depends. It really depends.
The box, it depends.
Yeah. I wish I had the multiplayer. Like, I wish I could play the multiplayer though. Because that was actually pretty fun.
That's what you get.
The Mass Effect multiplayer?
Yeah, that's what I
But
think.
wait, you can't get it?
Nah,
No.
I can't.
Is that serial key?
Yeah.
It's that keygen music.
Yeah. Because I don't even have to deal with Origin or anything like that. It's just they let you go. I'll end up buying it probably eventually.
I like the multiplayer for a bit. I had got it. One of my characters completely leveled up and pretty much geared out. You can play the game to earn points or buy like packs, but if you earn the points, you can buy it with the points.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I did. Like there were weekends that they would have like triple the points or something, and that's when I would play the heaviest. And I just rack up points, and then you buy the rare pack, so you get like all the rarest gear and like all the best upgrades.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm just like walking around, just
Strutting your shit.
my dick out. Just,
They let you do that in Mass Effect?
yeah, it's one of the
Dick swinging. Big dick swinging.
It's one of the mods.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to contribute to like all that Mass Effect stuff.
No, I know. I mean, it's whatever. I don't know what to say.
Did you see that thing that they got the tactics guy to make like
Oh yeah.
that Kickstarter?
Yeah, it's I only saw really quick on Kotaku that there was a picture, and they said that he wanted to do another tactics game, and that he's doing a Kickstarter for it, but I don't know how much money he's got.
I don't know if it's
When I
fun.
saw it, like I would imagine, like they would have had like a shitload of money already, but because you've seen some that automatically like destroy their goals. But that thing, when I saw it, and it was like at 100-something-thousand out of I think it was like 600,000.
Yeah.
The goal, but they have stretch goals that are far as fuck, like into like 2 or 3 million, just like set up already.
Yeah.
And so they're expecting to get more just
Right.
from the guy alone. And I saw it was like at 100-something, and then I saw when the post was put up from Kotaku, and I'm like, oh, it was yesterday. I'm like, damn, this thing might not do so good. Like, I don't think it's gonna go that far.
I don't know, man.
So I mean, I had to check it out now. Hopefully hopefully at least beat the thing. But you know, it's weird.
You guys know what the name of the game is?
Unsung story. Yeah. I'm gonna take
Chip
some.
two.
I'm gonna take pieces.
I'm gonna see it because I really love tactics.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to contribute to that thing just to get that shit made. Because
Is it a direct sequel or like a...
No.
No.
It's just in the same style.
But Massive Chalice, man.
Hmm?
Massive Chalice looks like it's gonna be the tactics for our time, man.
Is that the fucking Double Fine one?
Mm-hmm.
I think
That's a job.
so far
Let me show you some Massive Chalice stuff.
they pledged 600,000 and they have 360,000.
No, that's not good.
Nope.
Most of the time, when it's popular or in
There's
demand,
doubt there.
Like-
Like those guys, man.
oh. It's the fact that it's like that phone company, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what company?
A phone
Making-
developer.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, not like they make phones, but
Played that.
they make games for phones, but it's been like card games.
Mm-hmm. And it's just really.
It looks like they have decent artists and shit, though. You know,
Yeah, it does.
They probably are completely capable. It's just weird and different.
They're incapable of being completely capable.
I'm looking at the video right now.
There's no confidence, or maybe people really wanted the tactics art style.
Chief Executive Officer. My name is Peggy.
Chief Executive Officer or goatees. That's Massive Chalice?
Yeah.
Of Go Team. Go Team Industries.
And like some of the in-game art looks pretty good.
Yeah, that shit looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. Are we done with the podcast, Alex?
No.
No.
Are we?
I don't know.
You tell me. We're like at an hour and 17 minutes.
No, we're done, man. That was an hour.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut some of this shit out. We're gonna make it shorter.
Okay. Then peace out, people.
Have a good one, everybody.
I love you.
Alright, thank you for listening, guys. Take care.